Good afternoon. I'm Staff Sergeant Colin Chisholm. Colin is C-O-L-I-N and Chisholm is C-H-I-S-H-O-L-M of the Calgary Police Service Homicide Unit. And I am joined today by Daniel's mother, Wendy Dudgeon, and his sisters and friend. The investigation into the death of Daniel Dudgeon continues, and we are renewing our call today for people to contact us if they were in the Mazaj Lounge and Restaurant located at 9223 McLeod Trail Southwest between 7 p.m. and closing on Friday, February the 19th, 2021. Emergency crews were called to the business that night around 11:20 p.m. for reports of a man in medical distress in the parking lot. Our officers and EMS arrived to find 32-year-old Daniel Dudgeon dead at the scene. His death is being investigated as a homicide, and we still need to speak with anyone who was at the Mazaj that evening. Since we first asked patrons to contact us, we have only heard from one person who was there that night. We often see cases where multiple people have small bits of information, of seemingly insignificant information, that sometimes become a critical lead when all the pieces are put together. That is why it is so important that people don't decide for themselves what is worth telling us, because they might decide not to give us some information that could be the last piece we need for the puzzle to make sense. Whether you think you witnessed something that night or not, if you were there, we want to speak to you. Investigators conduct the vast majority of these type of witness interviews through a brief phone conversation. Anyone with information or who witnessed the homicide is asked to call the homicide tip line, the CPS non-emergency line, or Crime Stoppers anonymously. I would now like to ask Daniel's mother, Wendy, and the rest of the family to come forward to provide a brief statement.
My family and I have been devastated since finding out my son was killed. I'm not able to sleep at night, and it's a struggle every morning to get out of bed. I know I have to for my daughters and my fur babies. I watch the news on one station and tape the other in hopes of getting some news as to why this happened and to who might have done it. My life stopped that day. My son died. I get up and go through the motions, but I can't get past it. Not until I know why. My two daughters, Crystal and Amber, try to be so strong for me, but I know they are hurting as well. Some friends of Dan's are so broken, it just breaks my heart. They were such a big part of my family that I consider them my sons. Dan always had friends over. We tried to remember all the good things about Dan, the way he liked to make people laugh, and how he was always there for his friends whenever they needed help. He needed him, whether moving or just needing someone to talk to. He would cancel plans to help out a friend, no matter what time of day. He had the kindest heart, and I can't bear the thought of never seeing him again. Like all of us, all he wanted out of life was to be loved and to love. His friends had all found someone, but he hadn't yet. He won't get that chance now. My heart is broken. So please, if you know anything, contact the police. Thank you.
Okay, with that, we will now move to questions. Are there any questions for CPS? Jenna, go ahead.
I noticed on the release that you mentioned, how brief the conversation will be for those that choose to come forward. Is that something that you guys are dealing with, where people are maybe hesitant to come forward because they think it's a really big undertaking? Is that COVID related? Can you speak to that a little bit?
We can't speak to the motivation for people not wanting to come forward. Could be COVID, But like I said, it's really important that we speak to everybody, that they come forward and they give us what information they have, no matter how small they think it is. And I'd just like to thank Wendy Dudgeon for providing that statement and the rest of the family. Sorry.
Okay, are there any other questions? Okay, hearing none Jenna, you go ahead.
I guess I'm just wondering if you can provide any information as to, you know, whether this happened, whether you believe this happened inside the restaurant, if this happened outside, how many people you're looking at that may have been there, and I guess how bizarre it is that only one person has come forward so far.
Yeah, we don't know, like I said before, why people aren't coming forward. Yeah, it could be a number of reasons, but we assure you that you know, what you have for information is important for us to put the pieces of the investigation together. Yeah, as far as we do not believe the incident happened inside the restaurant.
Okay, Steve Seto at 660.
Hi there. Just wondering about any of the information that you got from any of the staff members. Were they beneficial to investigators in providing any information?
Yes, the businesses have assisted us with the investigation.
Any follow-up, Steve?
No.
Okay, Bill McFarland.
Yeah, thank you. Have you spoken with anybody he was there with, or do you know what was doing at the restaurant that evening?
We won't get into details as to who spoke to who to protect the integrity of the investigation.
Okay, that's the end of our question list. Are there any other questions?
I'm sorry, just a follow-up on that. Was he there by himself that evening?
Like I say, those are details that we won't get into at this point in the investigation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you everyone for coming today. That concludes our event. If you do need a high definition video feed, please just let us know by calling the media line.